talk all about drying paper. So this is my Restraint drying system, and the way it works is that air from this fan is forced through the channels in this tri-wall corrugated cardboard. There's lots of information in the notes below this video about what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to put my wet sheets on top of blotters. I like to have 2 or 3 100% cotton blotters. And then I have this extra layer of window screening cut to the same size. This just keeps the moisture that will come from my paper into the blotters from hitting the tri-wall and causing it to collapse and form channels, which would show up in sheets of paper. So I will just carefully peel up this freshly pressed wet sheet of paper that is handleable and put it on to my blotter. And then I have another set of the same thing upside down, 3 blotters and then window screening that goes right on top. I'll take another layer of cardboard and all of those blotters, and then I just peel these back. Put my sheets on top. Now my drying system is built to fit 18 by 24 inch sheets of paper. I'm only making 12 by 18 now, and I prefer to dry them this way rather than 2 next to each other because they'd be right to the edges, and it's really hard to handle them that way. So I just put them in the middle of my 18 by 24. The cardboards actually come in large sheets, and I cut them in quarters to this size. And I'll show you how it works once I get this. So here are some really thin sheets that I cooched onto cotton fabric. And the reason I did that is so that I can just lift them with the fabric into my drying system. They are fragile pulp that might tear if I tried to lift. Sometimes when I'm handling a very thin wet sheet, a corner like flips around and sticks to the sheet, and then I spend a lot of time undoing that. So this is a great system. You don't want to put anything too thick in here. So this is thin cotton fabric. I've also used thin Pella. Now I've got this filled with paper. My drying system is full. I'm going to take a board that's cut to the same size as my cardboard and blotters, put that on top. Then I have this plastic that is duct taped to the fan that comes around, and this keeps the air from the fan just coming through the holes in the cardboard, not going out the sides. And then I've got these pieces of metal. You could use wood or anything flat, plastic, just to keep those from billowing out. 2 boards go on the top, and then I'm going to attach tie-down straps. So I've got 2 tie-down straps and these giant eyelets that I stick one end of the tie-down strap into. Then I sling it over the top. Put it on the wrong way. Stretch that over the top. It's going up over this angle. It's less of an angle than if I just had a straight piece of 2x4. This just helps with the ratcheting system and doesn't weaken this strap over time. And then I'm going to crank that tight. I'll put the second one on, crank it tight, and then I'll turn the fan on high. So I've just undone the ratchets, pushed my plastic back, and now I will unload my drying box. And now I've got my sheet that dried on cloth. So this is the Abaca. It's pretty translucent, so you can see right through it to the cloth. And I'll just set it over here while I unload the rest of the drying box. And now my next layer has a sheet of Abaca that was not dried on the cloth. So now I just have to remove my sheet from the cloth, and I'll take my handy micro spatula to get a corner started. And the cloth is stretchy, so it's even simpler to get behind than something rigid like the board. And just have to be careful. This is a highly beaten pulp, so it could tear. Try to get it separated all on this front edge. And then I can pull. Keeping everything flat. I don't want to torque the paper because I could dog ear, or I got a little crease there from some torque. Woo, scrumptious. And now I've got a piece of flax here that I also dried on the fabric. It looks like it's thicker. It's going to come off a little easier. I can get that right behind there. It's holding a little, it's a little more rigid. So, voila.